In saying that it's not finished, what is left to be done on this?
Well, Gary, what I want to do is I want to go back in and take some other pieces of construction paper, a different shade, maybe a black or a gray, and I want to do some inlay where these colors will bounce back through.
And we mentioned earlier, so we don't want to forget to do this, we're going to introduce the folks to the pastels, which is your favorite medium. So they're over here on your work table. Let's zero in on these. As I said to the uninitiated observer, such as myself, they look very much like the Crayola crayons that we all grew up using. Tell us how these are different from your average crayon.
Well, like I said earlier, Garrett, the difference between crayons and pastels, these are oil pastels. These have a lot of oil in them, so they're very soft to the touch, and they have a smooth consistency on the paper. That's what I love, because you can control the mixing and the blending of the colors. Now with crayons have oil in them, but they have very little oil. They have more wax as opposed to oil. So yes, I like the oil pastels better because, like I said, with the consistency, the blending, the control, you can do a lot more with the oil pastels. That's my favorite.
And you have another project here. Actually, it looks like two projects that you're working on here. Let me zoom in on this one. It's at this point, it's a leaf and two leaves is what it looks like. What is this?
It's a vase. It's a still life of a vase with flowers, and it's a bouquet of flowers. I'm not quite finished with it yet. And yeah, this is going to be a pastel and watercolor piece. So I'm going to mix the mediums. I like mixing the mediums. I like trying new stuff, and not a lot of people know about mixing different medias together. So I'm trying something new. We're mixing oil and water. So a lot of people say you can't mix oil and water, but I'm going to show them that you can with oil pastels and watercolor.
And next to this, you have what looks like sort of a worksheet, and this is where you got a palette under there.
Yeah,
I see you have a palette under there.
Yes, this is just my worksheet. What I do before I put the final color onto my piece, I blend them out here first just to get a feel of what I'm going to do, how I'm going to use it, what colors go with what. You always want to have some type of scratch practice piece paper before you add it to your original piece.
And let me just ask in closing, being a writer, I would imagine I probably get asked some questions similar to what you do, in that there is an inclination here to say the piece that you just showed us about the vase, how long will it take you to finish that? I mean, I can never answer a question as to how long is it going to take you to finish writing what you happen to be working on right now, because as artists, generally, I mean, it's not a 9-to-5 job. You don't sit down at your palette at 9 o'clock in the morning and say, I'm going to work here till 5 in the afternoon and get done what I get done. Writing is the same way. You have to be in the mood or feel the spirit, or however you want to describe it. What will be your process for finishing this unfinished piece that you just showed us?
Well, in past projects or prior projects, I've started from anywhere from 2 hours to 60 hours. It's taken me to do certain pieces. Twisted took me about 60 hours to get finished, 60 plus hours to get finished. And it'll take anywhere from that amount of time to, well, it took me to do the rooster. The rooster was about, I'm going to say about 3 hours. 3 hours, and like I said, Twisted is up there.
And there is Dante, who is a very important member of the family.
That's my critic.
So we'll wrap things up by just letting folks know where they might be able to get in touch with you if they like what they've seen and maybe would like some more information. How can you be contacted?
I can be reached at Shamari714, that's SHAMARI 714 at Yahoo.